Good evening, everyone. As you can see on top, we've got the score 1-1. It feels like a loss, in my opinion. We're going to speak to the lads in a minute, get their views and their thoughts about the game and how it went and how this game was so crucial for us to win, but didn't work out that way. But yeah, just want to say thank you to everybody that joined in for the watch along. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Make sure you follow my boy Irk. Arsenal, he's always posting Arsenal content as well. Just like us, and he also joins in with some of our watch-alongs. But yeah, boys, talk to me, man. What happened? What went wrong?
Can you take the floor on this one?
Where do I start, man? I mean, it's frustrating because we took the lead. We had a couple chances after that as well to capitalize. Just feed Gyökeres, man. That's all we asked. Do you know what I mean? And then we play too many passes instead of just direct, and then we get punished, man. I mean, they're very physical. We knew about their threats. Centre backs, Thiago as well. What a player, man.
Yeah.
Gave Gabriel a lot of trouble and Mosquera. But do you know what? At the same time, as much as I do want to flip out and lose my head and stuff, but we've been in this position before, bro. Like, it's 4 points. We're still in it. Obviously, still in our hands.
Yeah.
And City haven't been great as well. They're gonna drop points. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But games like this, though, that's what's annoying. Where it's a Brentford away, we're miles better than them overall. Physically, maybe not, but I don't know, man. Asim, bro. Obviously, I know you had a lot to say during halftime and stuff. Like, any changes in how you feel, or
I think it's the same. I think I second to what you're saying in terms of like staying positive, and like obviously there's a potential chance that City can drop points, but I think it's just I don't know. Today felt a little bit lackluster. We were short for ideas. We was lacking creativity. I think we were not penetrating when we should have been in certain ways. You know, for example, like direct down the middle. I think Eze first half was very questionable. I think, you know, we kind of dug ourselves a hole in terms of being too predictable on the wings. I think, you know, we made our subs too late. I think there's a lot to unpick about this game, but generally, I think you are correct in saying that, look, we are still in this title race and we are still 4 points ahead of Manchester City, given that we play the same amount of games. But, like, I don't know, games like this, they just feel like losses, especially when you're in the title run and you are statistically and numerically favourites to win. It's really hard to take it on the chin and carry on, but you have to. But again, at least it wasn't a loss.
Yeah, I mean, even though it wasn't a loss, but it still feels like that. I think because we know the quality we have. There were so many points in the game where you think, you know, we could have just punished them. I mean, Martin had that chance at the end. Could have scored it.
Great save.
Probably one of our best chances throughout the whole game. But then there was a counter-attack which Odegaard had. He had a perfect opportunity to pass to Gyökeres and chose not to. And I think just those points there is what makes it really, really frustrating when you can see your striker begging for the ball and you're not feeding him. And then what happens? It's a missed opportunity. And then there's only so many missed opportunities you can, you know, throw away before you concede, and then it's too late. And I feel like that's what it was today. It was too late to get the winner.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I will. Speaking of Odegaard, though, I will say, in his defense, he did help us up the pitch because Eze, like you said, Asim, bro, like non-existent. He waits for the ball. I just feel like he's just a passenger for a lot of games. Odegaard, as much as I've criticized this guy a lot, and you could just tell the difference in terms of the system. He's used to it. He's used to the players he's playing with. He knows his role in the team. He's dropping deep, trying to make things happen. But it's just that killer pass to Gyökeres or just through the lines that it's just like, bro, just want to slap him and just be like, wake up and see what we see, bro. Like, but yeah, what could we have done different, boys, though? Like, should we have brought on Jesus? Obviously, the subs, could we have made them quicker? Like, what do you think?
Yeah, I think definitely we could have made our subs quicker. I think in terms of like the transition between midfield and attack, I think you know, players like Eze. I mean, as much as I do understand that he was starting and he had to start because obviously Odegaard's off the back of an injury, I think it was just we took too long to get into the game there, and those subs should have come on way sooner, because as soon as they did, we saw a shift in energy and a shift in directness. And don't get me wrong, you know, Noni Madueke, fantastic player, got the goal, of course, and is really direct, but I think, you know, it takes more than just one man to do it. And I think the contrast between Gyökeres and, you know, Igor Thiago, they're both very, very similar in the way that they're built, you know, in terms of their kind of attributes.
Yeah.
And I think it was very clear to see which one was getting service and which one wasn't, and which one was causing problems for defenders and which one didn't even have the opportunity to do so because, you know, again, the balls weren't getting played through. But I think if it was up to me, I would have made those subs way sooner. Yeah, what do you think, Cass?
I think the changes that were made were good, but I feel like Jesus in the mix would have made a significant difference to that Arsenal attack. I think Gabby Jesus, he's a great player off the bench. We've seen it this season quite a few times, where he's scoring goals. And even Gyökeres coming off the bench is great as well. But I think if you're trying to get a goal and you've got a good striker on the bench who's actually been scoring and has good form, then you should chuck him in the mix as well. Odegaard, like you said before, yeah, he did change the game compared to what Eze was doing on the pitch. But like there's so simple things we can see that he was doing a few seasons ago. And it's like we're playing very conservative, but there's only so many times you can play conservative before
Manchester City come breathing down your neck.
Yeah, and then you got a goal down, and that's when I've always said we get the goal early, and then you can close out the game. We were doing that against Sunderland, Leeds, and this is the game you expected us to do it again. Didn't happen, and yeah, this draw feels like a loss. But am I still positive about the season? Yes, I'm 4 points. It's still 4 points. Could have been 3 points if we lost today. We could have lost today. There were some opportunities where we got saved, by David Raya.
Mosquera.
Or some great defending by Mosquera and Gabriel. So, if you used to ask me, would you rather have a draw or loss? And obviously I'd pick a draw. So just got to look at it that way, isn't it? You have to be positive as much as you can in these type of situations. But, we only got about 10 or so games left.
Yeah.
There's still a lot to play for. And there's still a lot can change in this league.
Yeah, talk to me about Trossard. What do you think about Trossard today?
He just weren't the Trossard we know, man. Like, normally he's a clutch player. Normally he's very impactful. But I've always said that he's probably the best 12th man in the league. Like, you bring him on as a sub, always does something 9 times out of 10. But to be fair, he didn't really have a sniff because in Capier, I guess he kind of took over that left hand side. He done well, to be fair, as well. Yeah. But that's what I was screaming for, and you were screaming for, like, bring on Martinelli quicker. Because Martinelli, he's got the legs on Trossard. And yeah, man, he didn't have a sniff this whole game. I will say as well, lads, on a different topic, last season, and probably seasons gone past, we would have lost this game. Like, mentally, physically. Yeah. And the fact that even the players looked fuming that they drew this game kind of tells you where we are this season, like what we're trying to do. Because like I said, in the past, we would have been celebrating this draw. Do you know what I'm saying? Because like we would have lost it. But yeah, I'm trying to pinpoint where it went wrong because they could have easily snatched 2 more goals, through set pieces and stuff. But what could we have done differently? Asin, what would you think? Like, I think Cass mentioned Jesus, but what do you think?
I think Jesus would have been nice to bring on. I think he's obviously been proven, very technical with his feet, got a good amount of strength, ball control, etc. He's a really good playmaker as well at times when he can just lay off the pass. Which Gyökeres was doing at times. He was trying to hold up the play, and then he played a really good pass through to Timber. I think if you're asking me where we went wrong, I think it was just trying to play too much pretty football when it came in front of goal. I think we were stuck for ideas, and we just kept recycling in certain areas when we just didn't need to. It was just kind of put the ball in or get the ball into the danger area. And when we did, in those rare occasions, there was threats being caused by us. And it was like, you're going to cause so much threat to the point where we're going to end up penetrating that goal, and it will be 1 or 2 or 3, whatever it is, or 3-1. But the fact that we were just trying to play too pretty and kind of like faff around the box and then just try and make it look as nice as possible, I think it let us down, and it allowed Brentford to kind of come on the defensive side of things and just kind of see out the game ultimately. And then when they get that kind of counter attack where they catch out Mosquera, with Igor Thiago being as big as he is, I mean, you're causing danger, and then before you know it, you end up going, conceding a goal. But it's just too much pretty football. I think lack of directness, lack of ideas, lack of creativity. I think we weren't hungry enough in front of goal, and if we were too late to recognise that, because when the likes of Gyökeres are open, you need to feed that man. Simply.
Yeah. A question I was going to ask is, do you feel like Arsenal will go on another run like they have when they lost, and they go on a game of 4 games unbeaten, not conceding? Do you feel like that will happen after this draw?
I think so, because look, we got Wigan FA Cup, I think Sunday, and then we play again Wolves before City play. So psychologically, I feel like we can get back on track even before City kick a ball. Do you know what I mean? And the great thing is, when there's quick turnaround, you don't have time to cry and sit there and think about what ifs and maybe.
Yeah,
So,
true.
and we got to remember, I know it's nothing to like using as an excuse because every team has injuries, but we missed a player like Havertz today. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
he should be back by the time we play Spurs, hopefully. But
Yeah.
it's just one of them things, man. I think looking at the bigger picture, we have to think it's definitely a marathon, not a sprint. So we're
Yeah.
gonna have hiccups the same way City are, and that's why I'm not stressing as much as say a couple seasons gone by because they're nowhere near the team they used to be. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, we just gotta keep trying to do our job, and when things like this happen, just dust ourselves off and go again, man. But
Yeah.
yeah,
No, I agree.
it is frustrating though. At the time, obviously, as we're watching, we're stressing. I'm losing more hair. I didn't think that was possible, but yeah, it's just one of the things. But what do you guys think? Do you think this is a blip, or do you think it's just a reoccurring theme this season?
I don't think it's a blip. I think this is actually a new scenario for us Arsenal fans. I think with 10 games to go, still being on top of the league is still
Yeah.
a big statement. I think in the past, Arsenal probably would have crumbled way before this. We've seen it in the past as well. I think even last year, like we were nowhere near, being top of the table when Liverpool won it because we were just losing so many silly games or drawing so many silly games. Games like this, like you said, we probably would have lost last year or the year before. So yeah, I just think the only way we need to move forward as a fan base and as a team is just be positive. You still got 4 points. The Premier League trophy is in your hands right now. If the season was to end, you'll be champion. So how do you keep pushing towards that goal? It's just being consistent, just making sure that obviously you're not going to have a perfect season. There will be road bumps, but this way you have the 6 points cushions for these types of matches where you will drop points, and then you still got points to play with, but you need to bring that points tally back up. So when games like this happen, then you're still ahead of Man City because Man City, we know, second half of this season where this is where they start to pick up. Yes, they've had a bit of ups and downs, but they look like they're getting on the roll now. I mean, we expect them to do it against Liverpool, didn't happen. Man, Fulham, I expected a closer game, but they got blown out 3-0. So yeah, it's just about us making sure that we're just consistent from now on as much as possible. With only 10 games or so to go.
And we still got to play them as well, the Etihad.
Yeah.
So again, that's another thing we have control over. So we still have to just do our job, man, game by game. Do you know what I mean?
It's true.
I think. Sorry,
go.
I was going to say, I think a positive thing that you mentioned, Dirk, was about the fact that we've got consecutive games coming up quite quick, so we don't have time to dwell on this kind of situation. I think that's a really positive thing for us to kind of remember in the back of our heads. As much as I do slate Arsenal for games like this and where you expect them to put it to bed, but look, things happen. Football's an unpredictable sport. Anything can happen. Again, like we just know, like City can go on a 18 game unbeaten run, or they can drop points to the likes of Newcastle, for example. You never know what happens, but I think there are lots of positives to take away for the season so far. I think, like Cass was saying, still 4 points ahead. We still got, and like you said, we've still got them in the Premier League, and they're not the team that they used to be. But at the same time, I also think in retrospect as well, we're not the team that we used to be. In terms of availability, we've got a lot of players who are injured, but are still kind of lurking in the background in terms of being back quicker than we expected, as opposed to like the seasons before where we had Saliba out this time of the year. Havertz was out early doors. And we've got Odegaard back, the likes of Saka back as well. And I just think it's one of those ones where I'm hoping that, when Arteta takes the team into the dressing room, it's kind of look, we've had a small blip. It's a minor kind of situation where you do slip at times, but it's about how we bounce back from this. And again, we don't have time to dwell on it. So it's about going to Wigan, getting the result that we need, and then, of course, we're heading over to Wolves and continuing that kind of effort because that's exactly what champions do. And I think the mentality, as in like what we said about when the game ended, how frustrated our players looked, I think that energy shift and that mentality shift is exactly what Arsenal need to keep them fueled and fired up to keep going to the point where when we do face City, it's kind of like, let's crack on, let's get ready for this. So, I mean, we'll see what the season holds. Again, 9 or 10 games to go. I mean, it's still a long way away, but at the same time, not too long to the point where it can totally slip out of our hands. I think we are in pole position still to win. I think it's just making sure that mentality just sticks to the game plan, and that's ultimately to just stay resilient.
Yeah, it's true, man. I think with football, we know in so many seasons gone by, like as much as it's about availability with players and ability, it's also a mental game. Like the minute you think, like I think 2-3 seasons ago when we had that mad run that ended our whole season in literally a matter of a week or two. Southampton, West Ham, and there was another team in there. I don't know if it was Liverpool or someone. Literally 3-3 with Southampton, West Ham. I think we lost, and that was it. I think it was Brighton actually. Might have been. It might have been. Yeah. So as much as mentally we have to not derail ourselves, we just can't hear the outside noise because the media, social media, like they're all looking for clicks. Like Arsenal fans losing their heads, getting a reaction out of Arteta, whoever else, and you know, we just gotta do the job game by game. We can't even think about seasons gone by. We just need to think, look, we're here, we're still leading the line, like you guys said as well. And you know what? Don't even look at City, bro. Like if I were them, I wouldn't even look at what City's doing because until we play them, we can't control none of that. So we can only look at what we can control with every competition, like game by game. It's just annoying because a missed opportunity, and to keep the pressure up against City or for City, it's like but again, we're still in control, and that's the main thing, you know.
Yeah, everything's going to boil down. I think everything will boil down to that Man City versus Arsenal. I think they're going to be the title decider. They might slip up in that time. We might slip up even more, but I think ultimately us playing Man City will be the title deciding game.
You know, it'll be an interesting question for the comment section. Do you think that Arsenal will drop more points come the time they play Man City, or City will drop more points by the time they play Arsenal? That'd be an interesting one. Who would be the team that does it?
Yeah.
If you think they are going to drop points, they might not.
But just want to say big shout out to everybody as well for supporting our channel. Make sure you hit up Arsenal as well. You know, he's always got content coming out, watch alongs, match predictions, pre-match analysis, post-match analysis. Yeah. And make sure you hit the notification bell. We're always uploading on this channel.
Yeah, big shout out to Irk as well. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, man.
A lot more watch alongs together.
Yeah.
And we couldn't do it without you guys, so we appreciate you. Till next time.